Yes, a very good day to all and Assalamu alaikum. Let's get started with full stack web application development using JSP. Now, what is full stack web application development using JSP? Alright, so we are going to apply every single method which is actually meant for professional development, right? We are going to divide everything and reuse everything up to the extent possible under us, right? We are going to utilize and take help from all the libraries up to the extent, right? And we are going to develop high-end web applications, and after completing the series and the course, you guys should be easily able to develop applications like Gmail, applications like Amazon, right? And we are going to take module-wise projects, right, so that you understand how different modules work. And we are going to create web application for HTTP environment, right? So that means for www environment, considering that environment, because once you take or consider www environment, that once you know that this is the site that I'm developing, this is meant to be launched or hosted, right, inside a server or hosted on a server, then you are going to apply all that what is required for for developing the website, so that the website is successfully deployed over server, right? And the website is not only giving requests and responses, but is handling requests very nicely by giving user-friendly responses, anti-hackable, anti-session hijacking, anti-XSS, anti-click jacking, every single way, right? And we are going to stop hijacking also. So this is going to be secure programming, secure web application development with very less memory usage, and we are going to take care of everything like garbage collection, destruction, construction, right, reusability of the code, and every single thing that makes this web application that we will develop. We are going to take some live projects, right, as professional web application. So it's entirely going to be high-end professional web application development from today, right? So we are not going to miss out at anything, right? In previous 8 lectures, we saw sessions, cookies, but still we were maybe 40, 50, 60% reusing, not reusing the code 100%, or maybe not using it by 100%. Now we'll try and use the code and reuse it by 100%, and let's see how it goes. And let's get quickly started. And prerequisite is that you need to now complete the previous lecture before you attend the next lecture. That means once I start part 2, so you should already be aware of part 1. Don't try and jump in here and there, then you are going to miss some very valid points and very important points. And in the meantime, what we are going to do, we are still going to prepare for interviews and examinations while learning alongside the course. As we progress with the course, we also progress and get ready for examinations and also interviews. That is my priority, and that's what I shall be doing with you guys. So are you guys passionate? Yeah, you are inspired. I know that. So let's get quickly started. And to get started, we'll just open that beans, file, new project, Java web application. I'll call this as FSW, right? FSW stands for full stack web application development. Click next and finish. Alright, here we will be mixing servlets, and we'll be using some JSPs as well. Okay, so now let's expand FSW and we'll find index.html. The first things first, that we are going to delete it and create a new home file, right, and call it index. So index is something that is going to be loaded for the first time when you load the application. And the second thing that is required is standard deployment descriptor. You know that we require the standard deployment descriptor. And the third thing that we are going to go for is JSP, which is going to be nothing but config. So we are going to make config.jsp today, and inside config.jsp I'm going to open only scriptlets. So config.jsp, only scriptlets. Web.xml, we haven't done anything yet. Index.jsp, blank, we haven't done anything yet. And let's start making some directories. Go to web pages and start making some directories as soon as possible. I'll make first folder as CSS, which is going to be my styles folder for CSS files. Okay, look what I typed, JSS. There's nothing like JSS. Next is going to be for JavaScript, which is JS, and next is going to be for includes, that is INC, right? And next folder is going to be views. We will apply the model view and controller logic here. And next folder is going to be for let's say about components. And let me quickly go to the source package. Now inside source package we are going to make a new package. We're going to make packages. First, as you know, model. Second package is going to be essentials. Third package is going to be HTML. Fourth package is going to be controller. Fifth package is going to be securities. Sixth package rather is going to be DAO. What is DAO? DAO stands for data access object. So we will not be using any framework. That is the beauty of this course right here, that without even using any third-party application, any third-party source code or framework, right, we will be developing everything. First we will develop our own framework, right, without using any third-party framework, right, and from the scratch. That is the beauty of the program, that we will be developing and learning everything from the scratch. We don't need to integrate any other third-party framework. And once you're familiar with full stack development, right, you, without even using any framework, you start developing applications and you get familiar of the code, then you are going to just rock and roll over any other framework like Strut, Spring, and other frameworks. So frameworks are going to be then very easy for you, because once you know the basics of programming, not only the basics, you know the full stack development. Now you know what framework is doing from behind, what framework is doing behind the scenes. Once you have that idea, then and only then you are going to succeed using frameworks as well, right? So more important is that you need to be attentive, and I will try and go as slow as possible, not too slow, neither too fast. I'll try and maintain speed in between fast and slow, right? And first things first, so what we will do, we have seen previously that we were not able to reuse request and response. No, we were not able to do that, right? We were not reusing HTML files. We were not reusing many different things, right? So the first thing that I am going to do is I will go to essentials, right? And what I do here, I will create a new Java class. Now see what I do here. I call this as config, right? So it's again config.java. Alright, so what configuration do you require? I require the website URL. Now why do I require website URL? Only when I deploy the website online, I may have to change, because this is the URL that all the hyperlinks would use. So I only when I make this URL or the website URL dynamic, right, will I be able to then upload the website and host the website. And when I host the website, before hosting the website, what I have to do is just change this so that I could upload it, right, with the website URL, right? So this is going to be temporary here. So private string default URL. Now what is this default URL? And this is the URL which is going to redirect you, right? So this is the URL which is going to redirect you after the login. Where do you want to go after login? What is your destination after login, right? Maybe you want to change it so you don't have to open the source code again. So I will say private string login URL, right? What is your login URL, right? The file which keeps every single thing, right? Or it's basically not the file, the string that takes your login page URL, right? Fine, I got it. And we'll keep on adding, because we'll not get I cannot recall every single thing that we use. But yeah, the soon we get reminded of something that we have to use, or we feel the need of using something, we'll quickly go and add the config parameters in here, right? And now what we need is configuration. We need request, which is going to be HTTP servlet request. I call this request, and private HTTP servlet response. We may require it. Alright, private HTTP servlet response. So let me add response private HTTP session. I may require this as well. So these are the things that we always reuse, right? So that's why I'm creating getters and setters for these things, right? And we also use request and response. Yeah, fine. So that thing is done. So let me create getters and setters. We still have to add many different things in here, but yeah, as we carry on with classes, right, in upcoming classes, and while we proceed ahead with the development, we may require to add few more things that we shall add when required. Okay. Okay, now config is ready. First things first, I'll go to config. Now I'll go to config.jsp, and I will define each and everything that I have created my config.java for. So I'll say config. I'll make config. You can see that I'll have to make an object of this config c is equivalent to new config, and the file is in essentials.config, right? Now we have made it. I'll say c.set the default URL. This is the URL, right? You want to go after you log in. So I'll say profile.jsp. So I want to go to profile.jsp after I log in. C.set login URL, that is going to be login.jsp, as simple as anything. C.set, okay, I'm saying get. Login URL is set, default URL is set. So c.set request, c.set response as response, c.set session as session. Now we are done here, and this is the file that we are going to reuse now, right? So it's no fun to copy the code and paste it in each and every page that we are going to use. So it's not going to be it's not easy to do that, because that is going to reduce our luxury of reusing the code, right? So that's why. Okay, now config is ready, session is there, request is there, response is there, login is there, profile is there, config is there. Right, so we are not going to get settled for any ordinary design of the software, because we are now developing a framework. So let us be very much sure of what we are doing. So now what we are doing here is setting it up so that we can include this in each and every page, right? Okay, the second thing that I want to do is I want to go to view. Now see what I do here. I will go to views and I will create a new JSP page. All right, and no, not in views, sorry, includes. I'll create a new JSP page. I call this as header.jsp. Delete everything in here. I don't want anything inside header.jsp. Copy and paste. I will just rename this to footer.jsp. Now I have header.jsp and footer.jsp. Alright, so let me create few more things in here. Now footer and header are going to be common, as you know. Index is here, footer and header are going to be common. So let me put it this way. Header is the file. I repeat, header is JSP. Header is the JSP file, right, which is required to be included in each and every page. So this is the file which is going to be included in each and every page. And now it is our job and our duty, when we know that this is meant to be included everywhere, why don't I do something? Go one step back. After I go one step back, why don't I include config.jsp here, so that done, our job is done. Config.jsp is included, request and responses already with us, so we need not to create that object again and again and again. So this job is done, so this process is complete. And second thing that we have to do is, now since I know this is my header.jsp, what I do, I will take, because header.jsp will take every single thing till this body start, right? So I am dividing the code, so start of the body and every single thing, I repeat, till the start of the body, right? I am going to make sure that everything goes inside header, right? And then you can see right here, okay, and we don't have to close body here, right? I repeat, we do not need to close body here, right? And the remaining section, right, hello world is not required, and the remaining section goes inside footer.jsp, right? So footer will only contain closing tag of the body and HTML. Header will only contain, right, HTML head and body. So this is the header which is going to be used, and this is the footer which we are going to use. Now we'll go to index.jsp, and what we do in index.jsp, open scriptlets, and not scriptlets but directories. I'll say include directory. I want to go to inc and use header.jsp, right? And after I use header.jsp, I want to go to include, and I want to use that file, what's that, footer.jsp. Now in between I can write any code, so let me create it like this at div, and I can say h, or let me create a paragraph tag, and inside paragraph let me have h1, and in h1 I can say hello world. So this is going to be the first page of our full stack website or web application. So it's going to be wrong if I say website, right? It is web application because we are web developers. We are also designers, but designing is not our focus, as you know. Now we are going to even design. What if you develop something very big and it has a very bad user interface? All right, so having a bad user interface is also not recommended. But yeah, now we have to see source code. Now you can see it is given back to the browser as a single page. All right, you can see it's given back to browser as a single page, and now you're getting hello world. Now what happens here, for example, now if I go for let's say about web pages, I'll go for another JSP which is profile. If I go for profile.jsp, I don't need to type .jsp here. Now what I need to do, copy the same code, right, of index.jsp, drop it here. Now you can see that we are using a common header and we are using a common footer right here. And once I have included header, header has internally included config also. Once I have included config, I have included the object of config, which is C, right? So always remember what we have done, right? Right, so this is the start and the beginning. So let me even try and check profile.jsp. So now you can see hello world in profile.jsp. So I write profile here so that we come to know that we are browsing profile. So now we have profile here, right? So this is profile, and when I go back using common header, common footer, only the body is different. And once I go back, view the source, a complete page is given, but at the back end, from the back side, you know, inside the code we are reusing header, which is reusing config, and this is the only section which belongs to the page itself, right? And this is very good. considering that we have to reuse code and we cannot miss out at even smaller things in this project, right? Even if I miss out at very small things, that's going to cause very big problems, right? Because reusability is a concern here. A major concern is object-oriented approach, and major concern is reusability. So we'll have to take, not only macro but micro has to be taken care of as well, right? And now let us go ahead, because we are developing a framework. We'll not start developing application unless the complete framework is ready. So I'll go ahead and create a new cascading style sheet. I call this as default.css. Now our CSS file is also ready. I'll just close it down. And inside JS, I'll go for a new. Let me see whether I have jQuery here. jQuery. So we have JavaScript file. Do not have any jQuery file. Okay, let me go for a new JavaScript file. I call this a jQuery. So we are going to use jQuery. And for that, we may have to go to internet and say download jQuery min.js. Again, I can even download jQuery min.js. No problem at all. Right. So I'll copy the contents of jQuery library. Here, what is jQuery? jQuery is nothing but a JavaScript library which helps us writing JavaScript and AJAX code to make automation, right, and animations, and request and response. We can handle request and response using jQuery without even refreshing the page, right? For example, if we are developing chat server, right, we cannot send the request and get the response. For chat server, if we are developing web-based, we'll have to, every time I require to get a new message, I have to refresh the browser. So that's not a good thing. Refreshing your browser will take, a while. I want to chat instantly without even refreshing your browser, then JavaScript will come into the picture. So that's what we do with jQuery. Anyways, we are going to see that in the future. Okay, we have this jQuery. Okay, let me see jQuery migrate. So we have the minified version. Okay, it is here. jQuery is here. I'm just going for the minified version of jQuery 3.4.1. Now it's here. I will right click, copy, select all first, then copy and go to your jQuery.js that you have created and paste it here. So what it has done, it has copied and pasted. So let me paste it on top. Right, so it has pasted the full jQuery library in here. So you can see this is the jQuery library. Do not change the copyright message. I'll keep it like it is. Right, now let us see whether jQuery is included. And where do you include jQuery? If you require jQuery in each and every page that your website may have tomorrow, or each and every page you're going to design and develop, right? Where do you keep it? Yes, tell me. Yeah, absolutely right. I'll go to the head section. I'll keep it just project, because this is something which is going to come dynamic also. And what I do here, I will say script source is equal to go back one step. I don't have to go back one step, no, because it's included, it's given to the browser as single page. Though you'll tell me, sir, why don't we go one step back, or why didn't you go one step back if you knew that this file header.jsp is inside the folder inc, right? This is header.jsp. Go one step back and then you can directly go and find the jQuery.js. I'll say no, right? If I go, I will get an error. Let me say if I go, in case if I go and I incorporate this, right, and I'll say type is equal to text/JavaScript. It's not a self-closing tag, right? So JavaScript doesn't believe in a self-closing tag, so we have to separately close the script tag. Now if I go and check my website, right here, if I go to page source, and you can see you'll get an error 404 not found. Why is it so? Now once I delete this, you are not going to get the error. Now you'll see it is incorporated successfully. Right click, view the page source, and see that you have been successfully able to incorporate or include the JavaScript library in here. Now, what is the funda behind that? Behind is nothing, right? Now you know that header.jsp is in includes folder. So if you take it that way, if I directly use header.jsp directly, and then yeah, I'll have to go one step back. But since I know that index page is here, right, outside, index page is not in any directory but directly inside web pages, right? Config file and also profile is directly inside web pages, right? Because header is included in web pages, right? So this means you are making it a single file, right? You're including header here. Now if you are accessing header directly, then you may have to go one step back. But since you are directly accessing it from index.jsp, index.jsp can directly go to the folder inc and go to header, and that means it is included. Header is now included in index.jsp and index.jsp doesn't need to go out one step, because you can directly see JS folder is directly accessible to index.jsp. Only header.jsp has to go one step back and then access index.jsp, right? Because header.jsp is included in index.jsp, that's why we are accessing index, we are accessing that script, JavaScript jQuery file directly from the header. So since it's included in the header, means it's included in every file. If I go to, let's say, about profile.jsp now, right, you can directly see that JavaScript is included there as well. So this is the first thing, or this is the first setup of a reusable web application code that we are going to develop, or the project that we'll be taking. Let me take a look at time. So it's still 26. We still have ample amount of time. Let me carry on and do some more nice things, right? So I hope you've understood this much. Okay, now header is ready, footer is ready, profile is ready, and our index page is ready. So now we'll not go for more pages unless we complete the design right here. Is that okay? Yeah, so we'll have to complete the design, and I'll go to the data access object. So I'll directly go to first essentials. No, I'll go to essentials. I'll say new Java class. I call this as DB essentials, right? So because we are creating a framework, so we have to make sure. Okay, I forgot one thing. Yeah, if I have included in the header jQuery, I forgot to include and link our CSS file, right? So that's our duty. So I'll say link relative is equivalent to style. That's going to be style sheet, and type is equivalent to text/CSS, and I will say href. Do I have to go one step back? No, I don't have to go, because same that applies to script will apply to jQuery, CSS file as well. So I'll go to CSS and I'll use default.css, and it's a self-closing tag. One step back is not necessary, because having said that it's included, header is included in index, and index is directly out. Index is directly in the web page, so we don't have to include it. So now let's see whether it's included everywhere. In profile, view page source, I'll go to style sheet. Yeah, style.css is included as well. So let me delete these things, right? So since now everything is included, now let me go to DB essentials. And what essentials do we require for database programming? I may require string I may require string, which is private query, private string db, or we can say results set, or we can say result, I don't know what do I say, result set. Okay, private string result set. Why? What happened here? Which? Okay, what is this result set? Right, so if I navigate to this result set, it's nowhere, right? Because this is let me call first statement, because SQL code we have to rewrite. So statement T. Why am I saying string? Sorry. That's my mistake. Private statement. The type of statement is statement. Private result set. So it's here. So I can say private result set, and private prepared statement, right? PSTAT. Let's call this PSTAT. Prepared. Query is there, statement is there, result set is there, and prepared statement is there. Now we are going nice. So let me quickly create getters and setters here. Insert code. Let me create getters and setters quickly. Okay, now getters and setters are created. DB essential getters and setters are already ready, and we have config ready. Let me close it down, and config getters and setters are also ready. Footer is ready, header is ready, web.xml is ready, index.jsp is ready. Alright, so let me go ahead and start. What happened here? Alright, so we have to dock it back. Okay, now the docking is successful. Okay, now go back to your web.xml file and create something. Right click web page first, create a new JSP. Alright, and let us call this as 404.jsp. So we have 404.jsp, framework is getting ready, and we have to create error 500.jsp. So both are ready. Delete all in JSP files. Right, copy what is inside profile. So delete everything, just keep the header and footer common. Right, just keep the header and footer common. Rest we will be doing ourselves. 404 is ready, 500 is ready, and profile is ready, footer is ready, header is ready, web.xml is ready. So let me quickly go and program our web.xml. So I'll say error page. I'll just open error page, and I'll say error code, which is 400. And for that we are going to redirect the user right to 404.jsp. Right, so I'll have another error page which is going to be for error 500, and I will redirect user to error 500.jsp. So framework is getting ready. Don't worry at all. You will see the magic once the framework is ready. There is something wrong. Yeah, we have an error /404.jsp and /500.jsp. So now for security reasons and for cross-browser compatibility reasons, so I'll say welcome file list, right? And I'm going to mention my welcome file as index.html. No, why I go back? Why am I going back to HTML? So I need not to go back to HTML. So now you can see when I load the website, I go directly to index.html, right? And if I go and print, you can search, say, right click, view source. Now we have CSS, we have jQuery, and every single thing is absolutely right. So now I'll go to the header section, since I want this website to be entirely an HTML5 website. So that is the best thing that we are going to do today, right? And we are going to apply some HTML5 properties, right? Since I want it to be HTML5, so we'll be using HTML5 code. And for that we have to apply many HTML properties, right? So the first thing is first that this doc type itself, it tells the story that I am HTML5. The HTML5 code is going to follow, right? And we have to do, I'll say, just few changes, not too many changes to make it look like HTML. First thing, doc type HTML, yeah, that is done. And HTML will have language as, it's called as culture, EN. We are using English as language. We are helping the browser understand our language, right? Okay, let me indent the code. Fine. And what else do I want? and we have to use a single meta tag right here. What is meta tag? Information about information, and the single meta tag just to make sure that the website looks like an HTML website. So I'll say meta char set is equivalent to UTF-8, right? So what is the char set? Char set means character set, right? It is the largest library. Like we have ASCII code library, we have ANSI, right? It has it, and this is the most latest and the biggest library that contains, it's a library of encoded strings. It will encode, for example, there are many encoded things that are meant to be coded. There are many coded strings that are meant to be encoded. Decoded. There are encoded strings which are meant to be decoded. My mistake. I keep on doing this. I keep on saying something wrong. Okay, now let me show you an example. For example, if I type and copy. Now this is the copyright signal. You can see you get at the rate of C. Now I'll zoom it for you. You are getting this C right here, right? So this is basically translated here because you're using a char set UTF-8. All the char sets may do that, but we have some latest things like HTML5 conversions and everything else. And for example, if I write and GT and I hit this, and if I write and before that I will write and LT and LT and I'll terminate it, right? So this will also be going to be decoded as less than and greater than, and LT is less than sign and GT is greater than sign, and that's why, and many more reasons, because I need someone to encode, decode the encoded strings, so we require a library for that, and UTF-8 is said to be the largest, so that's why HTML5 includes this doc type HTML and language EN, and char set is equivalent to UTF-8, right? Rest we are going to follow, like instead of using main wrapper we can use container, and then we can use articles and different things, right? And we are going to use HTML3 techniques as well. For example, I will use the star and I will use this, right? What does it indicate? Star means everything that comes, everything wherever this default.css file is included. Turn everything to, I will say, font family Arial. So I want this font family to be used, ARIAL. Did I spell it right? Yeah, I want this font family to be used everywhere, which is Arial. Okay, and the default font size for my website is going to be 14 pixels. 14 pixels, or it'll be 15 pixels. So this is all. You want to do it to all, right? And what I want, the second thing, what I want is all the anchor tags inside this website, all the anchor tags. That's why I'm calling A directly, not calling A by any ID or any class. All the anchor tags that I am going to use in this website will have text dash decoration none. All are going to have text decoration as none, right? And one more thing, that default color of my anchor tags is going to be something that we are going to decide later, but yeah, we can set default. And as you know, UL and LI has some inbuilt margins. For example, if we use menu bars, or if we use many unordered lists and list items, so inbuilt there are many inbuilt margins, right, that we have to first get rid of. UL has inbuilt padding of 10 pixels and margin of 8 pixels, around 10 pixels, right? So we have to get rid of that margin first, and say about if we are using it 10 times, so I'll have to write 10 times padding 0. So why don't I do something that initially I will say that my UL is not going to use any padding and my UL is not going to use any margin at all, and same is going to get applied with my LI, and my LI is not going to have, right, list, or you can say list style. We can have list style, so that's not a problem, right? And this is something that you want to reuse. This is something that we often write. For example, if we are having 10 anchor tags, hyperlinks inside our whole project, 20, 100, and we don't mind writing it 100 times. Text decoration none, text decoration none, text decoration none, right? All right. So now, second thing, that what do you want? All the buttons. right, that you are having, and all the submit input types. So I can say input, right, and I can say subset or input type, or we can use input submit. Only button is going to suffice also. Let's use only button. All the buttons are going to use cursor as pointer, and all the anchor tags are also going to use cursor as pointer, right? And so you can do it for h1 tags, and you can do it for h2 tags that you are going to use. What is going to be the default color, right? You cannot have one h1 color of red color, another h1 of black color. That is again is the minimum rules of basic rules of web designing, right? UI rules, right? So there are certain rules that the entire website should have only one font, right? And there should not be if you are using header tags, paragraph tags, the header tags should not be overlapped, and every single thing that you will learn in concurrent classes, inshallah. Let me take a look at the time. We already crossed 40 minutes. I don't want to give you too much of pressure, right? So this is just the start. This is where we are building the framework. So we are setting up the framework for full stack web application development, and after setting up the framework, we are going to create a very wonderful design, and then we are going to see how we can distribute what we have already made, or how we can reuse the logic, reuse the business logic, reuse the presentation logic, user interface, database, data access object. Everything will be used, inshallah. If you have understood this, right, if you're not, you can go through the lecture 2-3 times, right, because it's just 40 minutes. And now if you have understood this, please prepare the same framework. That means because it's very important in order to go ahead. It's very important that you guys sync with me. We have to synchronize, right? Unless you are running in sync with me, right? So nothing is impossible. Then we are going to move nicely. Now today it was very easy. You'll say, okay, I'm running in sync with Sir. It's very easy, right? But as we progress ahead, right, from one class to second, third, fourth, things may get a bit complicated. Not complicated, but maybe length here, right? So there you'll have to be very patient and complete, as I said, and wish you all the best. Complete the work and let me know once you have completed, and in case of any error, which I'm sure you're not going to get at least today, still you can let me know down in the comment section, or you can message me directly. Wish you all the best. See you tomorrow. Bye bye. Take care.